Hello, Kiran. This is Ekta and Pooja from the Journey Together. Welcome to our channel.
Hello, Pooja. Hello, Ekta.
Hi Kiran Didi, welcome to the channel. And once again, actually, you have come before. We are trying to, as you know, through the journey together, we are trying to, collect stories and bring people on the same forum from, people who have had magical experiences, people who work or, have progressed in their spiritual journeys. And have been practicing some alternative therapies as well. Welcome and over to you. And if you can tell us something about, your experiences, your journey.
So offline, when we were chatting, you were telling us about your experiences of shams and Amazon River. That would be something, you talked about the various different experiences you have. You've been doing crystal therapy, you've been doing meditation, yoga teacher. But this was something that, me and Ekta were very keen to know what that is. And we don't know much about it.
Okay, wonderful. So thank you for having me here. It's great. It's great to be sharing experiences that can touch other people's lives and help them in their journey as well. Because like you said, the journey together. And I love the title that you'll have used for your show. So first of all, let me just, with all honor and respect, we are talking about the shamans and the shamanic journey. So the name is SHAMAN. That's a shaman. So a shaman in native America, the native civilizations, I would say, whether it is it could be New Zealand, Australia, America. So the natives, Siberia, the shamans were the healers.
Mm-hmm.
This word witch doctor came about, but they're healers. They in their innate reason for being in that tribe, and they had training from the time they were very little. So I can, and it is so vast, like everything else, like yoga is so vast. Everything that I'm going to be speaking is just a drop of that ocean, and it's an ocean that I really honor. So I just want to speak a little bit about it because of the time we have. So just to explain to those people who've never known about shamans, so they're healers from various parts of Europe and Australia, New Zealand, America. But the ones that I worked with were from the Amazon rainforest, from Iquitos, which is the tip. It is where the Amazon rainforest is. Yeah. So again, like I say, every person you meet in your life is a link to that golden chain. So first, I was very resistant to plant medicine. My partner, my husband, said to me about because he's also on his own spiritual journey, and very similar to mine, but he was very interested in knowing the unknown that we have not worked with. And the plant medicines and the shamans came about through all our other friends. So to explain plant medicine, there's a resistance to it because you feel they're hallucinogens, and there's terms like they're drugs, they take you, things could happen to you. It is the same fear that we have with the Kundalini. Right. In India, we are so afraid of the Kundalini energy. Right now, of course, it has been diluted, but when I did yoga, we don't touch the Kundalini because it is supposed to be, oh my God, you got to be, wary of that energy rising and you go crazy. But I've done Kundalini yoga now. I've certified in it because I wanted to understand what. So the same way, we'll talk about Kundalini yoga another time. So same way, coming back to this, I am one of those people, I will only talk from experience. I don't speak from other people's experiences. So if my guru of the past has said something, I will follow, but I will use it in my life and see if it works for me. And then I will talk about it. Otherwise, that's not my experience. I cannot speak about somebody else's experience. It could be Patanjali, but I have to make it my experience.
Right. Yes, we
So
want to
coming
get
back to this,
experiences. Yes, we want to capture those true experiences, true, and that have that authenticity in the, whole conversation. Otherwise, yeah.
yeah. So one thing led to the other, because my life is very guided, and I've done the plant medicine. So I went to the Amazon rainforest. The best thing to do is, like, if you want to learn yoga, you come to India.
Hmm.
So the same way, if you want to know about the plant, again, it depends on what is your intention. My intention was to connect with the heart and the source of this teaching. My intention was not just to let me just explore it lightly. So I guess when your intention is that which you're intending works for you in that way. It's just like a marriage. Everything is a marriage. So I went to the Amazon rainforest and I worked with the shamans there. I studied the plant medicine. We went into the forest, Amazon rainforest. I got bitten by, bazooka like mosquitoes. I hadn't taken vaccinations. I don't believe in vaccinations. I said my body will go through it, and it will fight it, or it will give in. So, but I had no problems. Or I got bitten terribly. The other people who had taken vaccinations didn't get so bitten, but I had no problem. So I'm just bringing that up is because I'm not saying everybody needs to do that. We need to just follow our own truth. And my truth is not to have fear, because my trust in God is so strong, not to have fear. So I went with that intention. And of course, there is this slight excitement, and there is a slight element of that excitement that might give into, like, oh my God, what am I getting into? Because you take the boat, when you land, you take the boat and you go across the actual Amazon River. Things that I used to see on National Geographic, I was actually sailing across that in a little dinky boat.
Wow.
And you go across into the village, and you live in that village, which is so dependent on the river. So coming back, and then you meet, and the shamans are so simple. They're so simple. If you see them, you might even like they're just village people. Simple, so beautiful, simple folks. They are not dressed in white or dressed in la 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 la. You will not make them out. And when I went there, I went with a very severe, because I'm a masseuse as well, and I was working 7 days a week for 2 years of my life because of some, situations going on. So I was doing a lot of, holistic massages, and I had developed a terrible frozen shoulder that chiropractic was not able to completely cure it. So I had gone with that. And with me came a friend. I've got to tell you that story the next time, because I don't know how much time we have. So but it is so entwined.
Yeah. We would be keen. Yeah. Go on.
Can I talk about that as well?
Yes, please.
Okay, wonderful. Because, like I said, you get chosen. When you are guided, everything gets chosen for you. So when I was going to the Amazon rainforest out of the blue, I had this friend falling on my radar, her face coming on my radar, and I hadn't been in touch with her for quite some time. She wouldn't mind me speaking about it, because we have talked about this many times. It's been a significant experience in her life, and she's been on strongest antidepressants for 12 years of her life, strongest ones. And I picked up the phone and I just called her and I said, hey, I'm going to the Amazon rainforest for a shamanic learning. Would you like to join me? Because I think those medicines will help you. And she said, oh my God, Kiah, how did you even think of it? I'm just on the term of ending my life. I'm just fed up. I'm done. I'm done with this. And she said, I will go with you. She put the phone on. Her husband called me, extremely worried, extremely happy, but extremely worried, because he was supporting her all this time. And he said, oh my God, this girl will not camp in our garden. She won't put a tent and camp in a garden. She's going to go to the Amazon rainforest with you, with the creepies and crawlies. Does she know? I said, I don't think of these things. I just go. So anyway, to cut a long story short, she came with me.
Okay.
And so she's got body pains and she's just not in that space. But she came with me because of what? Trust. It's not me. The medicine calls you. I call her the mother. We all call her the mother. The mother medicine will call you. So anyway, so we went. We were three of us. Another friend also came along who was going through her space. And when we reached there, the shamans had a counseling with all of us to start with. So you live there. You live in a hut. So you live in like
Very basic.
really nothing. Just like and you know, they have the compost toilets. You have creepy crawlies around. So it's really, you are not going into any comfort even. Why? Because it's breaking your comfort zones.
Yes.
You can't be, you know, evolve spiritually if you have comfort zones and you're tied to them, you know? So the shamans had a counseling session and we were all past. When it came to my friend, he said to her, you have to stop your medicines, your antidepressants, you have to stop them now. And that was like her lifeline. And then they told her something, they saw something, and they said something to her, which was her incentive of giving up. She gave up her antidepressants there and there. And she went through, we were sharing the hut because she was holding on. She stayed with me. And she went through a bit of, you know, when you give up your lifeline, she did not have to take the medicine. So coming back again, I'm going back and forth. So there they have, and these medicines are so pure because you've got to be on a whole month of a vegan diet or a vegetarian diet before that. No smoking, no drugs, no medication. Your body has to be pure for a detox.
Yeah,
it has to be ready for the detox.
Right.
A big, you know, so it's not that you could, so it's not a light way of looking at it. And it really irks me when people have that impression, because this is a very pure space. So you then go with the shamans, they take you into the rainforest, they show you, you know, there are 30,000 medicine plants in the Amazon rainforest that can cure every illness on this planet. Every illness.
That's really amazing.
But it is banned. These medicines, a lot of these medicines are banned. So even the medicine I'm going to be speaking about to you today is banned in the rest of the world because it's considered by the governments a hallucinogen.
Right.
But it's now because the mother but in they're only able to practice that in South America, because they fought and they said, this is our mother plant. She grows, she's a vine, she grows, just, we don't have to garden her. She grows wild. And we have been using this for eons and eons to cleanse. Our shamans have been using this with such purity. So how can you take that away from us? So everybody goes down there to experience it. Now, like everything gets diluted, these medicines have also been diluted in their form, in their way of imbibing, in their way, like yoga has. Today you have cat yoga, beer yoga, so many different types.
It's
so it's the same with any modality. You take healings, you take anything. So I'm again coming back to the authentic source. That's why I go to this place, I go to those people. I'm very discerning with who I'm sharing what, and also learning.
Then you were talking about, you said, I'll talk about particular medicine. Was it cannabis oil or?
No. We are not. No, cannabis is not part of this particular modality.
So you said there's something. I'll be talking about one particular. Which one was it?
Ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca. Okay.
It's called ayahuasca, and that's the mother. That's the mother. She's a mother medicine. She's the goddess. Okay.
And what is it used for?
And so I'll explain to you. So I'll explain to you my journey with ayahuasca. So we go to they take us into the forest. They show us the bark of the tree. They show us the vine. We chop with them. We chop the bark. We bring it back to the place where we're staying. And of course, they have their own little place. So it's done up, right? They're all the huts, and then they have their kitchen and everything. And we clean it. And we are singing, like we have satsangs, we sing chants and mantras. They have akarios. So we are singing the akarios in the native language. We learn them. And we are singing while we are cleaning, and we are praying to her, and we are connecting with the intelligence of her soul, her spirit. And then we clean it, wash it, everything. And then that part is put in water, and we make the brew out of that.
Wow. Yeah.
So the brew is made, and then they add other herbs to it. Because she's so strong, she's very potent. So they need to stabilize that. So they add like a stabilizer herb. It's done all in front of your eyes. You are part of it. You're part of it.
Excellent.
And then that brew is, and it's been made for hours. It's in a huge pot and on firewood, no gas. Because there's no gas, there's no electricity. You're all in darkness in the night with just the kerosene lamp. So you are brewing that. It brews for hours. You have a very strict diet with them over there. You know, you are eating very, very limited food and just greens. And so your body is becoming ready for it. And then in the night, because all these medicines are, most of the medicines that I've done, they are done night ceremonies. They're called ceremonies. It's a ritual. It's a sacred ceremony.
Right.
So the shamans come. There's 6 shamans who came for the ceremonies. And
one second, Didi, the shamans are the magical people with the magical powers, or how would you explain?
So what is, so Ekta, when you say magical, I want to ask you, what do you mean by magic?
Someone with having supernatural powers within them. So are they actually, I mean, that is what the people,
or intuitive or spiritual guides, something.
Yeah, they are spiritual guides.
Right.
So when we say mystical, supernatural mystical powers, it depends on each one's perception. Somebody would say, can they just make things out of the air and bring it to you? Can they change the weather? Yeah. So supernatural powers could be many. These are healers.
Right. Got it. So they have healing powers.
They have very strong psychic abilities to see in the dark.
Right.
They have very strong abilities and gifts that have come to them from all the practice they've done. And I'll come to what the practice is, how you become a shaman.
Sure.
And also they're on the path of truth.
Right.
So that's why very simple. Everything is very simple. All the money that you give them goes back into the village.
Right.
It goes back into, and you can see it right in front of your eyes. They are not living in palatial homes and ashrams and stuff. And that's all okay. Everything has its place. So please don't get me wrong. I don't want to offend anyone. I'm just talking about my journey, which is my truth in this place. And so coming back to the ceremony, so in the night, you have the ones that I did, there were these shamans. And of course, you have a lot of interaction with them throughout the day, while you are doing the brew, and just generally, if you have any questions about anything. So then in the night, they dress up as the shamans. They have their outfit, they have a particular outfit, their feathers. They'll bring all their sacred totems and stuff. So yeah, feathers. We have the dream catchers and all that comes from this native. Yeah. So they have all of that. They have certain instruments they play, and I wish I have that with me here. They call the chapa. They have those leaves. So there's lots of stuff that they have. Like we have for our rituals, they have for theirs. And then they create the space. So they cleanse because, again, where there is a lot of light, the dark will always come for the light.
Yeah.
And also when you are in a space where you are probably in an altered state of consciousness, you will need the space of protection, you know, because you're in an altered state of consciousness at times. So they do their bit. They cleanse, they clear. So I was watching because I had gone there to learn, you know, not just experience the ayahuasca. I went there to learn, and I wanted to learn about all the medicines they have there. So I will watch them do all this, and then they sing, and then they, you know, they drink first, and then they ask you to come and drink.
and share.
And I can tell you, it tastes, you know, it tastes worse than, I mean, what we would term as like gutter water.
Right.
But not in an offensive way. I'm talking about the taste. If you and we say, I'm not sure if you have heard the word kadha. Kadha is a word we use
We
in
know about
India.
that.
We
Yes.
grew up as children in our times. We were given kadha to cleanse our stomach as children. So this is like 10 times kadha.
It's for immunity, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, for everything. So the taste very thick, and it's got a very very peculiar taste.
Right.
So you drink that, and then you just go and sit in your place and you wait for 45 minutes. You have to keep it in your stomach. You want to throw up immediately, but you have to keep it inside for 45 minutes. And then after 45 minutes, it starts cleansing you.
So it tests you at all levels, basically.
Yeah, it cleanses at all levels. And that's when the you know, you could go into a beautiful meditative state.
Right.
Which is what, if you really go deep into meditation, it is an altered state of consciousness.
Yeah. Yes.
You know, if you haven't, then you are just practicing meditation, the start of meditation. You are not actually into meditative state. So this is what happens there. And in that state, you will see, feel, hear a lot. For you, what is
Right.
for you,
The
not for me, for
message
you.
is just specifically tuned.
That's
for
when the
you.
mother comes in. Yes. And so there is a lot of, because the DMT, you know, the DMT chemical that creates the altered state of consciousness, we already have it in our brain. You know, neuroscience has said that we already have it. So, and that is what causes the altered state of consciousness in meditation as well. It clicks it, but we get like just a percentage of it, 2% of it, that will bring you into that wonderful state that we call bliss, and all these different names. I don't get attached to names, you know, just that wonderful state where you can be in touch with the truth, the cosmic truth. This is like 100 folds of that.
Oh my God.
Right.
So it is in terms, the space it gives you an opportunity. So so that's the ceremony, and then you just you have a conversation about what you've seen, and you know, and you get the answers for your questions if you want to follow that. So you have to be very discerning with whom you're doing it, where you're doing it, how you are doing it. You can't get into these kind of medicines in a very light fashion manner, or just for a, you know, for just that experience. Yeah. So I just want to say that, because it's a conscious medicine. And there is another medicine that I will talk about later, because you don't have time now. So, but because I told you my experiences, just the stories are like really. So I wanted to just bring about these medicine cards. These are medicine cards, and they are connected to the tribes of Native America, South America. And these tribes most all tribes in various ways work with spirit animals. They have a spirit animal they work with, because they live in the forest. They live in oneness with nature. And so they bring the wisdom and knowledge, the wisdom of these spirit animals to us through these cards.
Right. That's
But
amazing.
it is a deck that cannot be just done like an angel card. It is a deck that has to be created and formed. So it takes a little bit of time to do this.
We'll come to your place sometime, Netra, we'll get this.
So yeah, so that's about the native medicine. That's just one. There are many native medicine. There are many other, and I have gone and done another one. which is available even in London. They do it, which is not a hallucinogen. So if it is not a hallucinogen, it is okay.
Okay.
But this is a serious cleanser. So I will talk about that the next time, maybe if you have time. I don't know what
But
time.
which one is that?
It's called the Cambo.
Cambo.
So if ayahuasca is the mother of medicines, Cambo is the father.
Oh, okay.
Right. That's very interesting. Thank you so much, Kiran Didi, for taking us into your journey and bringing us on that path and giving us so much, sharing so much knowledge and sharing so much information with us. This
Thank
was
you.
a completely new area for us. Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you so much. Thanks.